The verdict from the Asian session is in, and it is crystal clear. Capital is abandoning bits for atoms. This isn't a forecast, it's a massive rotation happening right now. So let's get into the signal. Okay, look at this number. 3 trillion won. That's how much foreign cash just slammed into Seoul's hardware sector in one single session. But here's the key. This wasn't some broad spray-and-pray rally. No, this was a surgical strike. And this right here, this heat map tells the whole story. See that? The money didn't just sprinkle around. It was a laser beam pointed right at the industrial titans. We're talking Samsung, surging over 6%. The smart money didn't buy the KOSPI index. They bought the supply chain. So what's the signal here? This is the core of what we're calling the atomic rotation. The big money, the premium, is shifting. It's moving away from the world of software, the bits, and it's rushing headfirst into the physical stuff that actually makes it all work, the atoms. Now look at this divergence, because this is critical. You've got the KOSP, that's Korea's industrial heavyweights, absolutely breaking out. And then you've got the KOSDAQ, the tech-heavy index, just lagging. This tells you it's not speculative froth. This is a deliberate, structural flight to quality. Capital is piling into the industrial backbone of AI. Okay, so the big question is, why now? What's the mechanism driving this whole rotation? Let's dig in. So here's the breakdown. On one side, you've got bits, all the code, the algorithms, the virtual stuff. On the other, atoms, the hard reality, the factories, the silicon, the power grids. For years, all the money chased bits. But now, there's a huge realization. To make AI actually work, you have to solve the physical problems, the bottlenecks, and that means compute, power, and manufacturing. And there are 3 core drivers here. 1, capital is hunting for the physical choke points in the AI supply chain. 2, Korea is basically the world's ready-to-go AI fulfillment center. That time-to-market advantage is huge. And 3, in this high-rate environment, investors want to own something real, tangible. A factory feels a lot safer right now than a line of code. And if you need more proof, the numbers don't lie. Foreign money poured over 3 trillion won into the industrial KOSPI. At the same time, they were selling over 100 billion from the KOSDAQ. This isn't a passive move, it's an active choice. They're picking industrial scale over speculative tech. All right, let's build that bridge. How does this signal out of Seoul translate to the US market? What's the direct impact on the assets we care about? Right here, this is the whole game. Samsung's HBM3E chip. This isn't just some component, it's the strategic choke point for AI. This is exactly what that 3 trillion won was chasing. And guess who the #1 customer for these chips is? You got it, Nvidia. So when you see this insane surge in demand for the supplier for Samsung, it's a massive flashing green light for the end client. The signal couldn't be more direct. It's undeniable. And we can put a number on this. The correlation ρ equals 0.85 between the strategic partner, Samsung, and the client, Nvidia, is activating. A correlation that high basically means they're moving in lockstep. So when Samsung's order book explodes, it is an incredibly strong leading indicator for Nvidia. And this is the result. Look at that chart. The KSOP has absolutely shattered a historical ceiling. That's a huge confirmation of bullish sentiment. But, and this is a big but, every signal like this has a gatekeeper, one final test. Which brings us to the tactical briefing. The gatekeeper is the upcoming US CPI print. That data point is the trigger. It will either validate this entire atomic rotation thesis, or it's going to expose the whole thing as a massive trap. So this is the question you have to be asking yourself right now. Is this a confirmed breakout, the start of a real hardware supercycle? Or is this a historic bull trap designed to pull everyone in right before the floor drops out? Tonight's data gives us the answer. Okay, so listen up. What I'm about to give you is not a prediction. It's an execution plan, a data-driven playbook for the 2 ways this can go after the CPI print. Look, this is a binary event. It's one of 2 outcomes. CPI comes in soft, let's say under 2.5%, that's Goldilocks, that's the green light. But if it comes in hot, over 2.7%, that's sticky inflation, and that is a huge red flag. So here's the playbook. Scenario A, Goldilocks. The Seoul signal is confirmed. Your targets are AI hardware, Nvidia, and the semi-equipment players. Scenario B, the trap springs. Inflation is hot. The signal is invalid. Execution is simple. Immediate risk off. Sell tech, get to cash. Now for your key pivot levels. Watch the NASDAQ 100 futures, NQ, 25,120. That level must hold. For Nvidia, it's all about the previous all-time high. Can it hold? These are your lines in the sand. But forget everything else for a second. There is one number that trumps all of this, 4.25%. That's the US 10-year Treasury yield. I want you to think of this as the kill switch. If the 10-year yield goes above that level, 4.25%, then all these bullish signals are void. The macro headwinds just become too powerful. It won't matter how good the story is for hardware. The entire thesis gets shut down. So to wrap this up, the signal out of SEOUL is undeniable. A massive rotation into the atoms of the AI revolution is happening. The hardware supercycle signal is live. The only question left is, does tonight's CPI print confirm it, or does the gatekeeper slam the door shut?